All right. Wow. Another big episode. Possibly the best yet.
I'm thinking this week we'll probably just skip college basketball because not a lot happened.
Oh, you want to skip college
We'll
basketball?
just skip it. We'll wait for our friend. Well, that's
Friend.
That's kind of endearing compared to what he really is.
Friend in quotation marks,
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah. Doesn't want to share his 82-inch TV.
As you can tell, we are short one person here who decided that, a trip to Hawaii was better than doing the podcast. Not really sure.
How do you go to Hawaii and not go to the Maui?
That's what I don't understand. I mean,
well, I know you would have been there.
I would have been there. And I almost crashed. I almost thought about crashing their little vacation.
I'm sure Shay would have been happy about it.
Shay would have been thrilled about it. That's kind of why I didn't do it.
I think at that point you would have been like the you, me, and Dupree guy.
Yeah.
You were Dupree.
Yeah. Oh, I'm always Dupree. I'm always Dupree.
You're Dupree.
In every situation, I am Dupree. Crashing on people's couches. Sleeping with librarians.
Mm-hmm. Like naked, covered in butter.
Yeah. Setting the house on fire. It's all good. It's all good. Nah, we're not getting pulled. Don't worry about it. It's 30 seconds. We're okay. So, Kevin is enjoying his time in beautiful Hawaii. Some other people are enjoying their time in Hawaii. I don't know if they're still there, but...
Who, the Bulldogs?
The Bulldogs of yours truly. Gonzaga Bulldogs. With the... I mean, that's an upset, I guess, right?
It's an upset.
How many... You know what makes me upset?
The upset that makes you upset?
You know what about the upset that makes me upset?
What? That it shouldn't really be called an upset? But
Yeah, in my eyes, it wasn't an upset, but
it wasn't
in a lot of
huge
other
one.
people's eyes, it was definitely an upset. At the start of the day, I had to work all day, by the way, and so I wasn't able to watch much of the game. I did catch some of it, but when I woke up that morning, I really wanted to post on Facebook like I would take any bet that Gonzaga won. And I know somebody would have pulled the trigger on it and bet me. You would have pulled the trigger. But you know what? I was like, you know what? I've gotten burned too many times by going with my heart. I was like, I'm not doing it. I was like, no, not going to do it. And they fucking come out firing.
Do I owe you a shot for that win anyways? We might have bet a shot on that.
We might have.
I feel like the shots are just racking up. I have no idea.
Racking up. Eventually, I think we're just all going to...
At the end of the year...
we're all just doing a bottle.
The Christmas special, I'm just taking 10 and line them up.
Just do a bottle. From what I saw, Gonzaga looked very good, offensively especially. I mean, this is them without even probably arguably their best player. I would say experience-wise, I think he's a better shooter, so he spreads the floor more than Rui. I think Rui has more raw talent. But I think
on a national level or like on the higher up level, obviously he's the better prospect.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think his ceiling is a lot higher than Tilly's. I think
Tilly might already be there.
Right.
I think that's why now that Brandon Clark is becoming very interesting because I don't know what his ceiling is.
Mm.
For those of you who don't know, that's the guy who's been getting the playing time in I guess in lieu of Tilly being out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think that they should play Tilly, Brandon Clark, and Rui all at the same time. But it also wouldn't hurt to have one of them coming off the bench. I mean, keep that.
If the chemistry's going, why not bring Tilly off the bench?
Yeah, bring him back slowly, but I don't know. That's for Mark Few to decide, not me.
I don't know if are we just diving right in right now?
Just dive in.
All right. I have a few different takeaways. First takeaway, Gonzaga is really good. I mean, whether people didn't believe or not, I mean, it's time to believe. Their offense is legit. The second takeaway, not to downplay Gonzaga's win because I hate when people do that, but Duke does need to work on defense.
Mhm.
They aren't a good defensive team. They showed a lot of openings, holes. You can take almost any one of them one-on-one. The other thing is Gonzaga's zone going to defense for the other team is pretty good. And it baffled Duke, which makes, I know there's some Cuse fans out there that'll make them interested in that matchup because they better learn how to beat a zone because a lot of people are going to throw that at them now.
Right.
That will open other teams' eyes, especially a team like Syracuse, who runs probably the best zone in the nation, will be looking to do that against Duke. And then the third thing is both teams are going to be so different by the end of the year. I know I had mentioned it to you off the podcast. If they were to meet up again, I'd be very interested. Duke will have a year's experience, but Gonzaga should at that point have all their parts and should be
as long as nobody gets hurt.
And should be even better than what they are, just due to the same thing, experience. So then I think
the only thing that worries me about that is I feel like it's every year is that Gonzaga kind of gets into that lull where they're playing against that lesser competition, and then coming to the tournament, now you got to step your competition back up. Where early in the season they've got these hard tests, and then they're going to go to these lesser competition where it's just going to kind of
the only thing that's going to affect them with that is, let's say they do go undefeated, they'll have the number 1 seed and they'll be playing lesser competition the first 2 rounds.
Well, that 8-9's always.
I was going to say if they had a 4 or 5 seed though, they'd be playing good competition right out the gate, but they aren't going to have that low of a seed, I don't think, this year.
Unless something drastic changes.
They'd have to lose to Tennessee and then lose a couple in conference to fall that far.
It's going to be an interesting year.
It's going to be interesting.
Your boys fell.
Yeah, they lost to Texas, which at first I was a little bit shocked. I know Shaka Smart is a good coach and seems to be building that program up. He didn't have Bamba as a huge recruit last year. He's starting to recruit good talent, but I still expect North Carolina to win that game. And not only did they not win, they got beat up. They allowed Snead there to score 33 or 34 points. Granted, Kobe White for us, our talented freshman, scored 33, and then had another big game tonight to beat UCLA. But
sounds like Roy Williams isn't too happy with his defense, so Kobe White's.
No, defense is bad, and what's real interesting, I guess he's kind of put in a difficult position because he doesn't have a lot of guard depth this year. Is Roy tends to not play freshmen that much. Mm-hmm. He's that kind of coach. I think that's what hurts him in not getting Duke and Kentucky getting all those recruits because Roy doesn't promise playing time. He likes playing experienced players. So I think a lot of NBA scouts would say Nasir Little's a top 5 player. He gets limited playing time. Mm-hmm. He looks good when he's out there, but Roy never gives in on that. He will not play a lot this year, and if he chooses to stay next year, he will play. So that'll be interesting. But I think he'll go. If his stock doesn't drop, why wouldn't you if you're considered a top 5 talent?
Right.
But back to Texas, we were saying the game's happening right now, and they're beating up Michigan State.
Yeah, they're beating up Michigan State. Michigan State has already got a loss from earlier this year against Kansas. Not a bad loss, obviously, but I think that they kind of got smoked by Kansas, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah, I had everyone wondering what's up with Michigan State.
Or not? Or was that
it wasn't close. Either way, they lost to Kansas.
Loss of the loss.
They smoked UCLA. That wasn't even close.
They did smoke UCLA. Texas might be a real deal this year. I don't think they're ranked right now.
No.
So they're definitely going to come in. Yeah. Especially if they win tonight. I think they're going to be ranked regardless if they win or lose. I think
they probably will with Wisconsin's loss to Virginia.
Yeah.
Wisconsin was ranked 25th.
I don't think Texas was far outside of the ranks. I've been wondering when Shaka Smart was going to get that Texas team to the next level because I felt like, when he went there, I was excited because I felt like, he was doing so good with VCU and with lesser talent per se. Not able to get, not the biggest recruiting market that Texas has and all that. I really expected him to elevate that team because I think he's a really good coach. So I thought he was going to be able to elevate that team, get these, top-notch recruits in there, and really push that team over the top. And then they just kind of.
I thought last season was kind of more of his breakout season.
Yeah, last season they were
They
pretty
got
good.
into the tournament.
Yeah.
I think they won one game, which, I mean, you expect a little more from Shaka than one win, especially Texas, being a good program, expects more than that.
Right.
But that's the reason I say that was a good year is the previous years they weren't even there.
No.
So he's been showing improvement. And maybe this, like you said, this is a breakout year for Texas. Which puts the Big 12 on alert. Hopefully someone can challenge
Come on,
Kansas.
the Big 12 is Kansas every year. How many years in a row have they won it now?
I don't know.
They're like almost like challenging Gonzaga. I don't even think Gonzaga's won it that many years in a row.
It's just,
And they're playing the WCC.
how
How you
how
win
much
the Big
energy
12
are they?
that many years
How
in a
much
row?
energy are they using to win the Big 12 every year, though? Because every time tournament comes around, they lose. They're like always this big powerhouse, and they choke every year. I think they won once, and they needed an overtime 3-point luck shot from Mario Chalmers to beat Derrick Rose in Memphis. That's like the only championship they have.
It's a championship. I don't know, man.
That's a long time ago. Derrick Rose is considered washed up in the NBA at this point.
It is a long time ago, but there you have it. There's our NBA talk for you, Kevin. So hope you enjoyed it.
Touched a little bit on D Rose and Mario Chalmers for you.
What else? Syracuse lost a couple games.
They lost.
This was going back to last week.
Yeah, the UConn loss was a little bit unexpected. I mean, I expected them to lose to Oregon if that matchup happened.
Yeah, but I mean, they kind of had. I know at least like a lot of the Syracuse fans, they were ranked 15th. So I mean, there's a lot of hype behind the Syracuse team. So I really kind of thought that they would at least contest with Oregon. And I mean, right now I'm not impressed with Syracuse, especially since they just went up against probably two of the. I wouldn't say they're obviously good competition. UConn's been down for years now. They could be on their way back up. I don't know.
Good coach.
Yeah, who is it now?
Hurley, the one who had Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yeah.
Now he's on UConn this year, and they're feisty.
Yeah. So that could be a big change, definitely. And Oregon, obviously, they've got some top-notch talent there. Bol.
Yeah. Pritchard, returning guard.
But I didn't catch either of the games, but didn't look like they really competed much in either one.
No.
The UConn game was kind of back and forth.
Should we talk about this week? Because they struggled with Colgate for a little while.
In the first half, they struggled with Colgate, yeah. They did end up pulling away for about a 20-point win.
Yeah, they pulled away.
So they've got some more challenging games coming up. They got Georgetown. I don't know how they're doing so far this year, but that's obviously a big rivalry game.
They have their other annual game against Cornell coming up too.
Cornell,
what was it? 5 or 6 years ago, actually had a good program.
Interesting games gonna be against Buffalo.
Yeah.
Who was
actually good this year.
Yeah, it was actually
they were good last year.
A quality team, so we'll see how that goes. I don't think there's any other really big non-conference matchups for them outside of those. I think it's the usual,
Who won between Virginia and Virginia Tech right now? When I came upstairs, it was a minute left tie game.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
That's an interesting game.
I'd like to see Virginia go down so that somebody could change their top 25, but until then, we're stuck with some people thinking Virginia is better than what they are.
Well, some people think they're better than Kansas, don't they?
We can't get into that when the man's not here to defend himself, so we will let him, defend himself when he gets back. Oh, Virginia. I don't know where it is. But yeah, no.
Virginia Tech. Virginia. Has to be something else. But anyways.
Yeah, so a lot of big tournaments going on right now. We got then the Battle for Atlantis. See what I posted there?
No.
Gonzaga's in it next year. North Carolina's in it next year.
So they could potentially play each other twice?
They could play each other twice next year, 3 times in the next 2 years. So that'll be interesting for sure. See how that goes.
I guess I'm praying Nasir Little stays.
I'm praying that Rui Hachimura stays.
He's not staying.
He's staying. That man is staying. He's not going to the NBA. I'm going to talk to him personally. What else we got? That's about it with college basketball right now. Holiday tournaments are always fun. Keep up to date on those.
Did you want to go over our rankings then real quick?
Yeah, why not?
Before we leave the college basketball.
We'll go to our, sorry, we don't have the visuals for anybody. We don't have our producer here.
Dandy producer.
But we will give you guys the top 10. Our top 10 teams this year.
Breaking news, Phil Mickelson beat Tiger Woods in their pay-per-view event.
I don't even know how that was a thing.
On the 4th playoff hole.
Those guys just made out on a ton of money.
$9 million.
Yeah, but how much did they make out?
Out the pay-per-view? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
$9 million playoff.
That's crazy.
All right, back to this. Lefty.
Back to college
We
basketball.
knew Lefty was better anyways.
Lefty's not better. Stop. So our top 10 teams this week. We've got Duke, who will inevitably be falling.
Yeah, I did these on Tuesday, I think.
This was for pretty much last week's, not counting the games this week. Correct. We have Kansas at number 2, with Kevin holding down Kansas as his number 1 team. Gonzaga number 3. I am the only one with Gonzaga number 1, which I believe they should rightfully be there, especially now. Nevada holding strong number 4.
They're still undefeated.
Still undefeated. I haven't really seen them.
Not tough comp yet.
No tough competition yet. I'd like to see them play, a nice quality team. See how they measure up that. But
to their credit, they're blowing teams out, which is a good sign. They aren't playing lower competition tightly.
Yep. Number 5, we have Virginia, who is,
defensive powerhouse again.
Just held Wisconsin to 18 points in the first half today, so that was a barn burner of a game as always. Those are the two teams that you just never expect to score any points.
No.
And I'm surprised Virginia broke 50 in that game.
I switched over from that game to watch snail racing.
Oh, that was on today?
Yeah, that was on today.
Missed it again.
A little more exciting.
Every year, Black Friday. I gotta remember that. Every year.
Okay.
All
One
right.
snail, one by an antenna.
Then we got number 6 Tennessee, which is going to be an interesting matchup tonight, going up against Kansas. I believe Tennessee is going to pull off this game.
I know you do.
I think Tennessee. I liked them last year, and I think that.
You like that everyone stayed?
Yeah, and I think they're they got that experience. They're a tough, just like physical team.
Yep. They have Baby Barkley, is what they're calling him. Grant Williams. If you haven't seen him, he's fun to watch.
But yeah, that should be a real interesting game going on tonight. I think it's on at 9 o'clock. So that'll be an interesting storyline to follow and see where.
Well, you're obviously rooting for Tennessee.
Oh, I'm definitely
rooting. If they knock
rooting.
out Kansas, you got number 1.
Gonzaga's number 1, hands down. So
unless people are really thrilled.
That'll be the earliest. That'll be the earliest I've ever seen Gonzaga at number 1.
Kevin will put Virginia number 1.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, well, yeah, of course he is. I'm not gonna get into it right now.
You'll let him defend it.
Number 7, North Carolina, who will obviously drop a little bit,
but not much because then they came back and beat UCLA.
It did.
Ranked, so.
But I don't. Do I even have UCLA ranked? I don't. Oh, I do. I did. I think I put them in this week.
The AP's throwing them higher and higher each week. They were impressed for some reason.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they'll
not
be
impressive now.
Auburn will also be dropping a touch. They did end up beating Arizona, I think.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't think they looked bad against Duke, in all honesty.
Either that or I'm thinking of Illinois playing whoever Arizona beat. Florida State, I think, is one of those surprise teams. I think they're Gonna be a tough team to beat this
They're
year.
good, but they just eked out a win
Yeah.
against LSU.
Yeah.
So
Well, LSU might be.
LSU,
I mean,
think is good.
I have LSU ranked pretty high.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
And we shouldn't have TCU ranked high anymore either because Lipscomb beat them this week.
Okay. Lipscomb's like.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
I know. Let's get into a little bit with Lipscomb. Lipscomb was like good last year, weren't they? Didn't they?
I don't follow Lipscomb. Who would?
I do. Here and there, I'd follow them.
I follow TCU like this much because you think that's a good program.
Listen,
they suck.
They don't suck.
I tried to even give them credit this year.
They got Jamie Dixon as their head coach.
They can't beat Lipscomb.
I bet you.
North Carolina.
I bet you out of these top 25 teams, at least 5 would lose to Lipscomb.
Yeah. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You don't have to believe it. It would happen. It would definitely happen. Rounding out our top 10, Michigan State, who is currently playing right now, still losing, I think, to Texas. So we will see. Michigan State may drop some more, might move up. Who knows? Yes, be yet to see.
How high do we put Texas if they pull this tournament out? Do they all of a sudden shoot to the top 10?
I say top 5. That was a joke. That was a joke.
I got it.
I have them ranked, so I can actually. I just know good quality teams. It's about teams. Do you get that?
I don't see Lipscomb.
Do you get that though? Like it's about teams.
But I see TCU ranked 16.
It's not about individual talent. It's about good teams.
I know. That's why I put Furman in.
Jesus Christ! All right. Well, we're done with this. This is just gonna get deleted. We're never doing this
Furman
again.
beat Villanova.
I don't care who Furman beat.
Furman,
You know, I actually considered that.
Furman will beat Lipscomb.
No.
You consider putting them in your top 25?
I actually did because I saw you put them in there, and I was like, "Are they really?" But no, couldn't do it.
They were undefeated at
that. I just could not do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care if they go undefeated all year. I'm not putting them in my top 25. I don't care. Not doing it.
But yet Lipscomb has something to stand on.
Yeah. So last week we had our pick'ems. We did the Michigan Villanova game. We were all very wrong. We also did the Syracuse UConn game, which we were all very wrong on. Going on to our third game, we had Texas A&M at Gonzaga. Kevin, unfortunately, tried to be.
This was honestly a pitiful week from all three of us.
But
all three of us.
Do you understand this? Like, where does his mind go? Like last week, yeah, I'm going to take Texas A&M at Gonzaga. He's going to take Texas A&M. But then this week in Maui, I'm going to take Gonzaga over Duke.
Because his mind doesn't think about who he actually thinks is going to win.
No, he tries
his
to
mind
piss
goes
off.
on who he doesn't want to win.
He more or less, yeah.
Because he doesn't want Duke to go. He didn't want to hear the hype train. Yeah. He's done with it.
He's done with the hype train.
Well, the hype train's over.
So. Yeah, but now he gets to listen to my hype train.
Correct. So he had to pick his poison. He chose yours.
He knows that the lesser of the two evils was going to be you, really. So
because I'm not a Duke fan. I like Zion Williamson. Enough of the Duke.
He'll never hear this is going to be if Gonzaga doesn't lose, it's just going to be me talking about Gonzaga every week. That's all I've been talking about.
Well, him and our teams have losses, so we're done talking.
Yeah. Our fourth game, we had Mississippi State at Arizona State. I don't know if it was I think it was a neutral court game, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Mississippi State did not. I think they lost by 5 or something. Yeah. It was kind of close.
Shocker, though. Mississippi State overhyped coming into the year.
I
didn't even want to pick that game.
Literally can never get a read on Mississippi State.
No. Ben Howland, good coach. He supposedly has good recruits, but they're playing, I don't know, they're up and down. Last year, they beat teams we were like, wow, that's a good win in conference play in the SEC. Remember, their out of conference was horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
They beat everybody, horrendous record.
Yeah.
But then they go into the SEC, they beat LSU. We're like, oh, wow, they're decent. And then they'll lose to someone at the bottom, like Ole Miss. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I don't understand.
Not that Arizona State's bad.
And I'm actually, Kevin, Kevin's alma mater, Arizona State. That's where he's currently taking some classes at.
I
So,
visited that campus this year.
do you think he's going to start hyping up? Is Arizona State jumping into his top 25 next week?
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to. Actually, would have jumped in this week, wouldn't it have? Did he put him in?
I don't think so. Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Here they go. Here we go
21st.
again. Surprised they didn't jump up to top 10 after that win, but all right, Kevin. We'll see. We'll see. I guess. But yeah, no, we got. What was our last game there? Arizona and Iowa State played. Oh, that was the other. It was Iowa State versus Illinois. So I was thinking of. Arizona ended up winning that game. I was a little higher on Iowa State, as was Kevin. Arizona, obviously, not too bad this year.
I didn't want to pick Arizona, but I had told you guys before the pick, you guys had already picked it, that I knew that Iowa State's star player was out.
Yeah, true.
And that changed things.
It did. Going into this week, we had another 5 games. We got the Kansas-Tennessee game going tonight. I'm going Tennessee. Cory, Kevin going Kansas. See how that turns out. Gonzaga Duke game. I was the only one. Nope, just kidding. Kevin went Gonzaga also. I forgot. Cory was the lone one with Duke.
I'm not doing good this week.
A good week for you.
Giving you guys a chance to catch up.
We also did the UCLA Michigan State game. Cory was high on UCLA. Some of us, me and Kevin, went with Michigan State. Then this was my big win of the week. Texas over UNC. Cory and Kevin went UNC. A couple losses for you guys there. This could be my week to kind of make a little run here.
We definitely need Kansas, otherwise you're making a run.
Yeah, I need that.
Because Clemson, we don't gain.
So yeah. Is that game going on, or has it happened yet? Tomorrow, maybe?
I will find out for you as you talk.
Nebraska and Clemson is our final game. We all went Clemson. So
Nebraska was hyped up at the beginning of the year.
Well, then why didn't you pick them?
I only picked it because it was supposed to be a close game. I thought maybe one of you guys would.
No. If you're gonna pick a game like this,
then I have to pick.
Then you got. That's why I took the Tennessee Kansas. I knew you guys were gonna go Kansas, and I was like, so that's how. So you'll learn. If you're gonna do these pick'ems, you got to think of a team that you think's gonna upset, and then you pick that team, that game.
Okay.
That's how you do it. So that way, you know that we're not gonna have a wash. But yeah, no. Outside of
I don't know when the 26th is, but that's when they play.
26th. It's got to be like Monday or something. That's about it with college basketball. One of the best times of the year. Getting close to.
We need to start filling out our tournaments, like wins, losses.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to be over, though,
I know.
soon, right? The tournaments, so we can do it all.
Yeah, I'm going to go through and do those. I meant to do that. So we'll see how that.
Next week, we should have the answer to who was our tournament.
Absolutely.
Holiday champ.
Going into champions, I'm going to take a little curveball here. 2-time defending NASCAR champion right here.
Mm-hmm. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I know Kevin thought he had the formula for success this year, but it failed him.
Came in second.
He did come in second. This time you did not come in second. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you're a bona fide
last
second
year
place
second,
kind of
this
guy.
year just last. You can't get a 2 in the chase and expect to do good numbers.
You know, I expect more out of our quote
Expert.
NASCAR expert. Probably the only one that really knows. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm starting to get a grasp on NASCAR. Like,
some changes coming up next year while we're on it. Might as well talk about
all right,
it.
go ahead.
Jimmy
talk about it.
Johnson and Chad Knaus, probably the best duo. Chad Knaus is his team crew leader.
Mhm.
Are splitting after 10 years running together. He also is going to move on to a new sponsor. No more Lowe's for Jimmy Johnson. So that'll be different. Martin Truex is jumping teams also. So he will no longer have the same team. He'll be racing for Gibbs. Those are the two big changes because those are top drivers. We'll see if the change revives Jimmy because he hasn't been racing that well for his standards.
Yeah, he hasn't.
And
No.
Truex, I don't really understand his business move on that. Penske's still going to have Logano and Keselowski. They're going to do their thing. And Kyle Busch is going to stay where he's at. So those guys will be similar. But the big news is Jimmy's change and Truex's change.
And then I think the big news is that I think at this point, like, do I just take over NASCAR expert?
Sure.
Like, should I just self-proclaim myself the NASCAR expert, or do you want to keep that title?
I gotta have one more.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
All right.
Not 3 strikes, you're out.
I'll give you
3 strikes, you're out, right?
3 strikes, you're out. I'll give you one more chance. All right. Fair enough. If you guys don't topple my dynasty next year, then I'm self-proclaimed NASCAR expert.
Yeah, that's yours.
I won't talk about it. Like not the way you talk about it, but I'm still going to be the expert. I'll just after you're done saying anything, I'll just be like, yeah, what he said.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I deserve that at that point.
Yeah. Moving on, we'll go into some NFL talk here.
Perfect. Second favorite topic.
NFL. Another fantastic week there. Go ahead and tell us.
Well, let's start out with the big. Did we just witness maybe the greatest game ever? Regular season?
I mean, if I was able to witness it, I'd say yeah, but I didn't get to witness it. But I do agree that I wish I did witness it because it was what looked like a phenomenal game.
Mahomes throws for 6 touchdowns.
But also had 5 turnovers, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
That's,
not good.
That is crazy.
And still put up 51.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I mean, is that... Here's the thing. Is that more Mahomes, like, maybe... I mean, we haven't really seen him turn it over like that before. So I want to say that's more credit to the Rams defense.
Well, and I think that's the difference in the game because Rams had defensive touchdowns, and that gave him 54. It wasn't like Goff outplayed.
Right.
Well, he did outplay because he didn't turn the ball over, but he wasn't like the weapon on the field that Mahomes was.
Yeah.
Anyways, awesome game, really entertaining. It's what we all thought it was gonna be, high scoring. There's no defense played in the NFL these days, so it's what the fans want, supposedly.
That's what I want.
The counter argument to that is
less defense, more offense.
I just said that to say that the defense is the reason that the Rams won the game. So that's everyone's counter argument to a lot of people's talk after that game was, look what the NFL's come to, no defense. The counter argument is the 2 defensive touchdowns won in the game. So there was some defense. The team who played defense won. The Rams, are they back in position to? You think they're in the driver's seat of the NFC? You still like the Saints?
Do they play the Saints?
They already did.
Oh, they already played them. Saints beat them.
Saints beat them.
That's their one loss
in New Orleans, and it was close.
Eagles still got to play the Rams.
I know you're loving that matchup, but good luck. Good luck.
I'll tell you right now. I probably won't. I mean, we haven't even gotten into it yet, but you'll see with my picks. Going to some more here.
My next one, the Bengals, another loss to the Ravens, who had a rookie quarterback. Really disappointing loss. And you let the quarterback run for over 100 yards.
It's tough.
And throw for 150. It's time to say bye to Marvin Lewis, I think.
Think so? Had enough of him?
I've had enough. Enough of
But they're playing for a Super Bowl now.
I mean, they're going to beat Cleveland probably, and everyone's going to be like, oh, don't fire them. But let's just get rid of them.
Are they still in the playoff? They're still in the playoff, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Because they're 5-5.
Yeah.
No, they're 5-6 now.
So, I mean, they're still technically playing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, they got
got to make the playoffs.
Same record as my fantasy team.
I mean, if the Eagles make the playoffs at 7-9, they're still playing for a Super Bowl.
You aren't making the playoffs at 7-9.
What do you mean?
You aren't gonna make the playoffs at 7-9. NFC's a little bit loaded.
We're gonna win our division at 7-9. What do you mean?
No, you are not.
Yeah, we are.
We already had this talk. The Cowboys have a layup now. It's over.
No, stop. I don't know. I mean, I just don't think the Bengals are gonna pull the trigger on him.
I don't think they'll ever do it to him mid-season. It's not their style. They're a classy organization. But it's time to let them go after the year. By margin.
I don't know.
It's been nice.
I think you guys are stuck with them for a while still.
And then also, after the demolition that the Saints put on the Eagles, I had to ask you, because I knew it would just be us. Did we just watch this year's Super Bowl champ beat?
That wasn't
past
even a
year?
football game. It was just a demolition derby. And it was just one car just getting slammed by like 20 cars.
Are the Saints that good, do you think? Because they blasted the Bengals the week before.
I think the Saints are good. Don't get me wrong. But the Eagles right now are...
The Bengals aren't good either. So I haven't been that... Should we be that impressed?
You know, the Eagles' offense didn't look good. Their defense looked even worse. Right now, they've... I just read something today that they were working out wide receivers at cornerback this week because they have no cornerbacks left.
That's why I picked Eli to have a good game this week.
I don't even know why you picked them, the Eagles, to win this week, honestly. I don't know. I even didn't pick that. So
you picked the Giants.
I picked the Giants because when I read that they don't have any cornerbacks and Eli and their offense is actually playing okay right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine that they're probably just going to put up a fucking shitload of numbers on it. But
Giants always seem to shoot themselves.
I mean, for argument's sake, Saints could have easily have won Super Bowl last year as well, except for one fluke play. We have no idea, Say they don't, give up that fucking long bomb to the Vikings. They go on, play the Eagles next game.
Mm-hmm.
They could have beat the Eagles and could have gone on and won it. They were playing really well last year.
I know some people just chimed in that the Saints are winning it. Saints over Rams.
Yeah. So,
what's up, Sean?
Shout out to you, homeboy. Sean, I think that's like his 6th or 7th favorite team in the NFL. He's got
Saints?
Yeah, he's got several of them. So.
Well, when you're a Bills fan.
When you're a Bills fan, you gotta dabble in a little bit of every team.
You gotta have some other favorites.
You gotta have options because your option is not good. So, but another 18 years, you guys will get back there. Don't worry.
Oh, we'll hear about it next year. They're all ramped up.
Next year's the year, right? Next year they're gonna draft something.
Next year's always the year when you're a Bills fan.
Always. But as far as I could see the Saints possibly winning it all. Really the only team I think that gets in their way might be the Rams.
But at this point, the Saints are going to have home field if they play the Rams.
Yeah, unless the Saints drop a game.
Right.
But I think that if they ended up, hypothetically, we're all considering the Chiefs probably the best in the AFC, with possibly the Steelers.
Although we saw the Patriots beat the Chiefs, so are we all
the Patriots
confident in the Chiefs?
Patriots, are always the possibility.
Right.
So,
when it comes down to the come down, Tom Brady will step up.
Yeah, that's true. So out of one of those three teams, I think the Saints could, I think they could take any of those three at this point, the way they're playing right now. Drew Brees seems to be possibly having his best year yet.
Do you see that he has an 89 completion percentage when he goes to Michael Thomas?
Oh,
that means 9 out of 10 balls are caught.
I know right now I think he's throwing he's got his best completion percentage. He's beating he has the previous record.
Oh.
So I think he just beat Sam Bradford's last year or something like that. And I think he's beating it again right now. So Drew Brees, everybody talks about Brady playing well into his 40s and stuff, and Drew Brees doesn't seem to be slowing down.
No.
He seems to be slowing down even less than Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know.
So,
does he have better weapons though?
you could argue that. He doesn't have,
Because Tom's weapons actually seem to be slowing down around him before Tom's slowing down.
Yeah. Gronk seems to be falling off a little
Gronk
bit.
gets injured a lot, and it's catching up. And same with Edelman.
Yeah.
And they never have a run game. They don't.
No. Yeah. The Saints' run game is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have 2 stud running backs that could easily just take over the game.
They have a Heisman player who translated actually from Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ingram, stud. And then the Kamara in the 3rd round came out of nowhere out of Tennessee, stud.
Absolute stud.
And Peyton said he knew it. Sean Payton goes, he can do everything. He's going to fit right into our system. Bang.
And that's what they were hoping Reggie Bush was going to do, and he never really panned out the way they wanted.
Too injury prone.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. Kamara did tear his ACL, but
yeah, he'll be okay. But yeah, that's NFL, and not much else going on there.
No, not really.
The Bucks still looking.
They don't even know who
they
their quarterback
they
is.
don't know who the hell their quarterback is. Every week I feel like they're just bouncing back and forth between who their starter is. So
I don't know what to do.
Oh, I feel bad for any fantasy owners that latched onto a Bucks quarterback because hopefully they got both of them. I know in our league they don't. But yeah. Let's go to our NFL picks here. Oh, I had some my takeaways. Just the Eagles' defense basically is just. I really don't think the Eagles. I think it's more injuries this year. Honestly, I think that's really affected them a lot.
On the defensive end,
their offensive line is depleted.
Running
backs is depleted. I've watched a lot of games. Wentz isn't making the best decisions, but I also feel like he's not getting a lot of time. So I don't think that.
I don't think Wentz has played poorly at all.
I think this last game was probably the worst I've seen him play.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did have a couple really bad throws, but
also we didn't
outside
mention
of that game, I think.
Yeah, but we didn't mention the Saints' defense the last few weeks has looked like they're turning it up.
Yeah. And this week, they just put.
That's what I mean. They made Atlanta not look that great.
Right.
Who has a good offense?
Yeah. Another takeaway I got. I don't even know what else we got. Cowboys are coming out of nowhere and all of a sudden starting to.
Funny what
play.
A number one receiver can do.
Feel bad for any fantasy owners that left them on their bench. Hi, Ryan. Oh, wow. Did you see this Boston Celtics game?
No, are they getting blown out?
No. Actually, the exact opposite of that. Playing my boys' team.
You mean they're actually coming alive?
Where'd it go?
Oh, Houston Texans owner dies?
Yeah. Bobby Mayer. Now, look at this, though.
Yeah.
Okay, Houston losing again.
Detroit coming alive again.
But yeah, I think the Cowboys might. I know you said they got the easier schedule going right now.
I know someone said he thought that they would lose. Stephen A. Smith thinks they're going to lose all 3 of their last games. But I do not think they're going to lose to the Giants, the Bucks, and the Colts. I don't think they're going to lose all 3 of those games.
I really think that they were going to. I thought they were going to lose to the Redskins. Then Alex Smith went down, and that kind of threw a.
They have the Saints next. They're losing next week.
Yeah, definitely losing to the Saints.
If they don't, then it's sealed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the Giants could still. If the Giants start playing hot, the Giants still have something to play for right now. They're not.
That's why Stephen A. says it. And
Yeah.
he said all of a sudden they look like a real team.
Right.
I don't know why
I
you
mean,
had to come together this late. But
Yeah. Saquon Barkley, we all know, is legit.
Stud. Beckham, stud. Sterling Shepard, good. Evan Ingram, good. Eli, that's the problem.
Mm,
And the offensive line been very I don't even think you can say It's been bad. Just bad.
but right now, I think that, I mean, you got to kind of call a spade a spade. I think the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC East right now.
I think Cooper really did change that game around.
I mean, it definitely helps him, especially if he plays up to the level that we all know he can
That
play
we
at.
saw on Thanksgiving. That was the Cooper we thought he would be.
Right.
Not 180 yards and 2 touchdowns every week, but
So now the question is, was it more Derek Carr?
I don't know.
You know?
The only thing
I mean, Derek Carr still ain't doing shit, but he lost. I mean, to be fair, like Derek
then
Carr
he lost
all.
Crabtree and
he lost
Cooper.
all his
Crabtree
weapons.
was his guy. He loved Crabtree.
I don't know why they ever got rid of Crabtree, honestly.
Now that the Ravens don't even use Crabtree.
Yeah. Dude went from a touchdown hawk to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Then a big game this week. Battle of a couple old timers. Got Tom Brady, who's what, 40, 41?
Where's McCown?
Versus Josh McCown, who's what, probably just as old, if not older. I don't even know how old Josh McCown is. So
Has he played for every team yet?
he's got to be close. He's I don't know if he's taken a snap for every team, but he's at least been on the practice squad of every team, I think. So I think that was actually a goal of his coming out of college, to
play for every team.
Play on every team. I mean, I don't really think Jets are going to compete.
No.
Josh McCown, I think he had to start last week, I think, against Buffalo, right, or something. Mm-hmm. Didn't look good.
Did they beat Buffalo?
No, they got smoked by Buffalo, I think. Or did they beat? No.
Mm-mm.
No, Buffalo won.
Buffalo has another winnable game this week. They can beat Jacksonville and Buffalo.
Jacksonville's got Fournette back, though.
They do, but they almost beat the Steelers with Fournette.
So we'll see how that goes.
But they have Roethlisberger's number.
Yeah. Going to our picks from last week for NFL.
Damn Bengals.
Eagles, Saints. I stupidly went with the Eagles. It's not even close. Giants, Bucks. Cory, the big upset pick there. Is it really an upset? Probably not.
I don't know why you guys thought the Bucks were going to win.
I don't know. Because I really was not on the Giants. I mean, the Giants have won, a couple in a row now?
Yeah.
2 or 3.
They beat the Niners, who you got right the week before. You had that upset. And then you jumped off the Giants. You're like,
Bengals, Ravens. I don't know why I jumped on the Bengals, but I did.
I think we thought
Kevin got the Ravens, right?
I think, my reasoning was no Flacco. The Ravens didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Then the Rams, Chiefs. Kevin went with the Chiefs. Did I change that one up? I feel like I went Chiefs at
you
first.
wanted the Chiefs, yeah.
Maybe I think I went Chiefs on Pick'em. I don't know what I did. But I went Rams. I think I changed my mind last minute. Then Texans, Redskins of last week. Redskins were not able to pull it off as I was hoping they would.
Texans becoming the first team in history to lose 3 straight and then win 8 straight.
Damn.
It's weird.
That was weird. Bringing our totals to Cory at 36 and 18, Kevin 19 and 35, and me at 28 and 26, staying above 500. Going to need a better week than 1 and 4 to stay above 500 this week. So
we're all over the place this week. I'm definitely going against you guys this week.
This week we didn't have any of the Thanksgiving Day games, but we have Browns at Bengals. Clean sweep across the board. Everybody going Bengals. Should be.
Bengals really need this one to get back to 500, so I really think they got to play. They got to be 6 and 6.
Gotta. Then we got the Giants at Eagles. I guess I could see where you went with the Eagles. It's at home.
It's home, and I don't know if the Giants are that much marginally better.
The Eagles defense is just so depleted right now. I would not be surprised. And I feel like we struggle against like star receivers anyways, even when we have like a full like roster.
I want Eagles. I think
Me
the,
and Kevin are
I think
going
the Giants
Giants.
are a facade.
Corey changing his mind on the Bucks and going with the Bucks against the 49ers. He did not like them against the Giants, probably because they were on the road against the Giants. Now they're at home. He likes home teams. Me and Kevin going with the 49ers. It was very strange how this happened because I didn't like the 49ers over the Giants, but I liked the Bucks over the Giants. And now I like the 49ers over
we have
the
to keep
Bucks.
debating over like 3 of the 5 worst teams. We might as well start throwing Arizona and Oakland games out on here.
Might as well. Jesus. Me and Kevin going 49ers, Corey going the Bucks. Game 4, we have the Seahawks at the Panthers. Corey jumping off the Panthers bandwagon, firmly seated into the Seahawks bandwagon, as well as Kevin is. I'm going to jump out of the Panthers bandwagon after they've lost 2 straight. Not looking good. I like home teams though.
Do you?
Not a big fan of the Seahawks. I think they're overrated as always, and
Number 1 rushing offense.
they'll probably come and bite me in the ass. So, not really confident about that pick, but hoping for a home win.
I'm not confident in this next pick.
Packers,
I don't know why I even picked this.
Packers at Vikings. I'm usually a big Packers picker of Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right terminology?
Yeah.
Pickers of
I mean, I think you'd rather be a picker than a packer.
Packers pickers, or
Sure.
pickers of Packers.
You're a picker of the Packers.
Picker of the Packers. I decided to go against them, and I went with the Vikings.
That's because something looks off.
Packers, yeah.
That's the only reason I took the Vikings, but the Vikings aren't that great either. The Bears, can we just say, they might as well just. They're in the playoffs.
Bears have wrapped up the NFC North.
They wrapped it up.
Bears have got it. Coming out of nowhere, Bears win the NFC North. Nobody expected that.
Yeah, Trubisky, you suck.
You suck, Trubisky. Oh, now you're okay. You're really good now. Okay, never mind. We'll see where that takes us.
He's just starting to get.
He's starting to get the job done. I like it. Ouch. Yeah, that is a little too soon, Kevin. Damn. R.I.P. Bob McNair. Kevin already tried
Kevin wants us to all
Kevin already wants to buy his
put
team.
our funds that we get from this podcast towards buying the Texans.
We will have a GoFundMe on our page shortly.
Yeah. Because right now, I don't even know if we could buy a DeAndre Hopkins glove.
No, cut it.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. We cannot buy a DeAndre Hopkins glove. What else we got? Want to talk a little bit about NBA?
Oh, yeah, I got notes lined up for it.
Call it a day.
Give us a little outline.
I think that's about all we got. Oh, we have college football.
Well, let's start out with the big news. Do you want to go ahead and just say Markelle Fultz is a bust?
I don't know. I mean,
Now
Markelle.
that he's asked for a shoulder specialist and requested a trade.
Yeah. I mean, you're not. If you were a bust, you don't request a trade.
What do you mean?
When you request
He
a
wants a new
trade,
start because
when you request a trade, you're a star, dude. Only stars request trades.
He's not a star.
Name a star that doesn't, or name somebody that requested a trade that wasn't a star.
J.R. Smith.
I knew that was coming. J.R. Smith is a star. It is owned by.
That was mine too.
Faults. I mean,
Genius move by Danny Ainge. By the way.
yeah.
I know we talked about it before, but what a way to avoid that. And you got Jason Tate.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very happy we did not trade up to try to get that or do anything crazy. I mean, I'm completely okay with that. I think it's still a little bit early to call him a bust because I mean, if there really is something wrong with his shoulder, okay, but I maybe it does just take a change of scenery. I don't know.
To fix the shoulder. We'll see. So next, maybe even bigger than the Fultz thing. What's going on with the Warriors? Lost 4 straight. Are we going to say that the argument really caused this? Or is everyone overlooking the fact that they haven't had Steph Curry for those 4 games?
They had Steph Curry, and they had, at least for 2 games, they didn't have Draymond.
Well, one he was suspended.
Yeah. And then they decided to keep him out for the next one.
Yeah. And then Kevin Durant, did you just see, recently liked an Instagram post that said that the Golden State Warriors should trade Draymond, adding more fuel to the fire?
I just want to know, like...
Why did he do that?
No, that's not what I'm asking. Like, what I want to know is why, like, where do these people come from? They have so much time. They can, like, literally follow every fucking like that a famous person does. Like, I just don't know, like, do you make money off doing that? Like, because I want to, like, if that's a job to do, like, I will do that job. If I'm going to get paid to do that, I'll just start following people, like, 24 hours a day. Checking their social media.
You follow people 24 hours a day anyway, but it's more like on a creepy thing.
Yeah, no, that's...
So anyways...
Possibly a felony, but...
Only when you take it now.
Yeah. I think it's... I think it's the beginning of the end, honestly. I don't think you'll see the...
You think KD's done with Golden State?
I think he might be, yeah. I think it might be off to...
I think
he's got his championship. I mean, he doesn't really have to stay anymore.
I think with what has been released, what Draymond said to him about you're halfway out the door anyways, blah, 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 that the team must know, or there's rumblings that KD's leaving anyways, and that's causing issues among the team.
Maybe. Yeah.
That would be my guess, because that statement, even if you're in a heated argument, I feel like just doesn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
There's some truth to it. Either KD's been talking.
There's definitely bad blood somewhere. So as much as they want to say there isn't,
Okay, now how much of a bandwagoner is KD if he really jumps to LA? If he sneaks some championships off the Warriors and then jumps to LeBron James.
But at the same time, it's not like LA. I mean, I don't know what their record is right now. I haven't been following that closely. So it's not like they're like really, like, nobody's really considering them a championship contender right now.
They're just a playoff team.
Right. So it's a little bit different than him jumping from Oklahoma City to Golden State after they won
73-9.
Yeah. I think that it would be he'll probably catch a lot of flack for it, I'm sure.
That wasn't on his list though. That's what's interesting. People are assuming that, but he had come out and said that before he signed with Golden State that he was interested in the Knicks and the Wizards.
Yeah, Wizards.
I don't know if that is gone.
I don't think. I mean, he'd be dumb to go to the Wizards now because the Wizards have just like self-imploded.
You think John Wall ruined that whole team right now?
I don't know.
Supposedly, it's his selfishness and his attitude.
I don't know. But then after all that shit came out, they came out and won. So, like, that was one of those teams where I just kept waiting for them to make the jump to like being like an actual contender. They just never did. Now they've kind of like started to like go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say about them, but I just heard they were both on the trade block, John Wall and Bradley Beal. So
moving on to another team that kind of underperforms.
Yeah,
the Blazers, best record in the West. But we've seen them have good regular seasons before, like last year, and then we get nothing out of them. Are we expecting more this year? Do you think they're going to win a few playoff series, or do you think it's the same old, same old?
I think it's same old, same old.
They're just a good regular season team because they can score?
Yeah. I mean,
at some point, Lillard has to get him over the hump. He's a superstar, a real one. Like a player you can actually build a team around.
But does he have enough around him? I mean, I know he's got CJ, but...
And then Jokic. That's the big difference this year. I feel like they got a big man who can play.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It's still a little early. I just feel like the Blazers are the Raptors of the West. Like they always have a great regular season or like a decent regular season, and they just don't do anything.
I mean, to their credit, they had the Warriors in their way for a while.
Yeah.
Well, last year it was the Pelicans who blasted them.
Yeah. Yeah, that one caught me off guard.
Then last, I know in the beginning of the year I was kind of joking about Kemba Walker because he was the leading scorer, but now it's becoming a regular thing and it's not really a joke anymore. He scored 60 points in overtime the other night. He's got Charlotte as a playoff team right now. What do you think about his MVP chances if he continues it?
I mean, what's he is he the leading scorer in the league right now?
I think he's third.
Third.
I think he sits at 28 a game.
And they're sitting at 8-8.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to get his team. I feel like
a winning record.
Yeah, he's definitely got. I mean, the Hornets have got to be probably up in like the top 4.
Are you
of
like
the East for him to even? Because I mean, when Russell Westbrook won it, I mean, his team was what?
Aren't they like a 6 seed?
Something like that. But I mean, he averaged a triple double, so
Yeah.
that was kind of hard. Like, I mean, that's the different
I
story.
think it's more Kemba's coming out of, well, to some people out of nowhere. I know you and I have always known he's a good player, but this is kind of his coming out party, it seems.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
hey,
I
look at league, look at me, I'm a baller.
I feel like he's just getting better and better every year,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh, by the way, 60 points is the most ever scored. No, sorry, excuse me. Ties the most ever scored by a player under 6 feet tall. That's him and Allen Iverson hold that now.
I've always been a fan of Kemba Walker. I think the one year I actually had a good bracket was when I picked UConn to win it all.
You picked him
Kemba.
that year?
Yeah.
With Napier, where they made the run?
With one.
Yeah, Shabazz and him.
Because the only reason I picked them is because they won 5 games,
They ran the Big East
Yeah.
table.
and I was like, fuck, and like Kemba Walker just like dominated, and I was like, they're gonna carry this right over. Like it's always like the hot teams that come out of
Like Michigan that one year.
yeah,
Michigan ran it all the way to the championship.
and so I ended up picking them that year. Pretty sure I did.
Did you pick Michigan in the finals last year?
I picked them. It was
I couldn't remember if you had them losing to Kansas in the championship. I know you had, or no, you probably had Virginia, the 1 seed.
no.
Everyone had Virginia, I felt like.
I don't think I had Virginia. I'm never a big fan of Virginia.
I know you had Kansas.
I think I had Virginia in my Final Four, but can't remember.
I know you had Kansas winning it all.
I did have
because the
Kansas.
Villanova game versus Kansas was
Yeah,
for
that
our
was-
thing. That was the big
Yeah.
game.
I needed Kansas. I want to say it was Kansas. I think I had Kansas Duke.
Oh. Just was wondering
I
because
think
I know
that's
you
right.
read the hot team and Michigan did come out. Big Ten won that and then made the run all the way until running into just a juggernaut last year.
Yeah.
By the way, Villanova beat everybody by 10 or more points last year. It wasn't that fun, really.
It wasn't. Another. What was I just? I was just thinking of something about NBA. No, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sixers look better with Jimmy Butler. Kind of surprised. I wasn't sure if he couldn't work with young kids in Minnesota. Why would he work with young kids in Philly? But it is working.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we'll see if they can make that push to get back up. Because I mean, right now, I don't think they're.
They still have work to do.
Yeah.
So do the Celtics, honestly. I don't know what's going on. I know you had some Irving news yesterday you're talking to me about. Oh, he hates Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, and he also I just saw today that he wants to retire in his early to mid 30s.
Everyone said he's a different dude. He's a little weird.
He's very weird.
He also believes in a flat earth.
Yeah.
So.
But he also said that when he was joking about that. I'm just want to get. Yeah, I think
He's a
posts,
troller.
He posts a lot of shit just to get people riled up.
He's a troller.
Yeah. Well, there's something else I wanted to add, but I forgot. Doesn't matter. Let's get into some college football, and then we'll wrap it up here. We've got. We don't have our football specialist here, but I mean we're basically the
He
next.
said he wasn't available this week.
We're basically the next best thing, anyways. So.
To his credit, though, he claims to be an expert, and he's our only expert that actually won.
True. It's a fact. That is a
Our
fact.
golf expert did not win.
No.
our NASCAR expert, has not won. College football expert won last year. I'm trying to take it. I tried to take it from him last year, but I'm gunning for it this year.
Gunning for it.
I think I'm going to wrap up the regular season.
So this
I
is
don't really
our
fall apart this week.
this is our most recent top 25. Yeah, because it's not counting this week's games. Doesn't look like we have much of a change. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan, all the same. Georgia,
Did he normally show the
UCF.
draft, or did he not do that this week? I don't know if it shows over there. Oh, I didn't do it.
Well, it's lost game.
Oh.
We just didn't highlight them. I already did, but last week also. Oklahoma was your top 7.
And they didn't change.
Top 7 didn't change. Then we got Washington State moving up 2. They've got a big game tonight against Washington. It'll be interesting. Ohio State stayed the same at number 9. And LSU moved up 1 to 10th. Utah State moving up.
Stayed winning. They got a big game, though, this week.
Big game.
Boise State.
Boise State.
In Boise.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. Syracuse, one of the big drops of the week, down 6. Very disappointed in their performance against
I think
Notre
all
Dame.
of us were.
I think that's going to carry over right into this week's pick, where I'm going against Syracuse.
Whoa. Is that your big reveal that you wanted to show
my
us?
big reveal? I was not impressed.
They didn't look good.
I mean, I don't know if that's credit to Notre Dame just being that good, or if it's, I don't know. I expected more out of Syracuse because, I mean, they competed with Clemson. You know, they've been doing work against their bills. They lost to Pittsburgh, and then.
But they beat NC State when they were ranked.
Yeah.
And then, they have a big game this week to show us all.
Boston College, who was ranked at one point, last week, in our rankings anyway. And it's at Boston College, so that's kind of the other reason I picked them. Just a road game, a little tougher.
Yep.
Our other big dropper of the week was West Virginia, dropping 6 spots.
Who'd they lose to?
They lost to. That's a good question.
The team I should know.
I don't think we picked them, honestly.
Oklahoma.
Or is
No,
it-
that's this week.
that's this week.
Yeah, I don't know who they lost to last week.
I want to say they lost to, like. I'm not even going to try to guess, actually.
Oklahoma State.
I'm going to shoot out.
They lost in Stillwater.
So, tough loss for them.
Oh, and Boston College lost to Florida State.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But it was a 1-point loss. I mean,
Mhm.
the game obviously could have gone either way. Florida State, obviously not great this year, but I don't think anybody expected Florida State to be this bad. They were.
No.
So maybe, I don't know if they're just now starting to get it together. I don't know. But
So, this week's picks.
well, we have the last week's picks too.
Last week, only one of us was feeling the Syracuse upset. Kevin got that wrong. You're going to notice a trend here. Only one of us was feeling the Cincinnati upset over UCF. Kevin got that wrong. Oregon, Arizona State. 2 of us were feeling Arizona State. Kevin, and what do you know, the person that's related to him. Joe.
By marriage, not by blood.
Arizona State. Oregon wins that. You also notice a trend, every single home team won last week. Kentucky.
Notice what I did this week.
Did you go that way?
All home.
All home. Kentucky over Middle Tennessee. Only one of us took Middle Tennessee. Kevin. Got that wrong. And then Texas against Iowa State. Steffan was feeling that one.
Feeling it.
Got it wrong, but still pulled out a good week. You and Joe went 4-1. Kevin, rough, 1-4. After what was really close, that put you back, Kevin.
Ooh, I'm catching up now.
And I got the good old high five. And then coming into this week, we got Washington at Washington State. One of us, Kevin. It's Washington. Then we have Syracuse going into Boston College. Only one of us, not Kevin. Finally.
Oh man, now it's a streak of me.
Steffan.
This is not going to end well, I feel
Steffan
like.
takes Boston College. Oklahoma going into West Virginia. Kind of odd that we all took Oklahoma besides Steffan, who took West Virginia. And Michigan going into Ohio State. One of us didn't take Michigan. Steffan took Ohio State.
Isn't Michigan like notorious for like folding into like big games too?
And Ohio State's my favorite college team.
Yeah.
I want to pull the trigger on that, but I'm scared, so I didn't.
All right.
I think that one's, you could have that. And then this one is a toss-em in my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen. Utah State, Boise State, and a toss-em it is. We went 50-50. The two people that are related, not by blood, as Steffan likes to point out. Utah State they went. Steffan and I went Boise State.
I think that one's interesting because I mean Boise State has been around. They've
Built a better program. That's
they've
the only
dabbled,
reason I'm going.
they've dabbled, and being one of the top dogs there for a while.
Mhm.
They put together some really good teams. Utah State's kind of a newcomer to the picture here. I don't think we've ever seen Utah State that I know of in the top 25. And they are hanging out.
Yeah, they're just winning. I mean, they're winning who they're
I'm giving
going
the
up
edge
against.
to Boise State because they're at home playing on the blue field.
Same. It's the only reason you're giving the Buckeyes and the Mountaineers an advantage.
And
Right?
Boston College and Washington State. That's why I'm giving
It worked for me last week.
Well, I'm giving them all the advantage.
Worked for me last week. How often do they all go?
The standings right now, Corey's in the
One
lead.
game,
After his 5-0 performance last week, he is now 39-21. Joe at 38-22. Me rounding up third, 35-25, and Kevin coming in last right now, 32-28.
Interestingly enough, the only way Joe can catch up to me is if Utah State wins, and that would just bring it to a tie.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Now, if I got all mine right, I can gain 3 on you.
Right.
Which would put me 1 behind. And I would gain 4 on Joe.
Joseph.
Passing.
Oof, looking for the pass.
I'm looking for the pass.
NASCAR term. When you're a NASCAR champ, you make NASCAR lingo.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
That about does it.
That does it. Next week we might be better. Might not.
It'll depend on how the poll goes. If
Yeah.
people really missed them.
Yeah. If you guys really missed Kevin right now, it's 100% Kevin. I don't know how many people have voted, but right now it looks like we're gonna bring Kevin back into the picture next week.
Looks like 100% chance.
There's a good possibility that I won't be in the picture next week. My schedule looks to be shitty again, so maybe we
Man,
could
your
see.
tardiness is really starting to get out of control.
What do you want me to do, man? I can't do anything.
Get a day job.
I applied for a day job. That was the whole point of it. It was to be a day job. Can't get that apparently. But yeah, no, that's gonna wrap up episode 97. I think
Three away. You at least gonna be for our century?
I will not be here for the century. I'm gonna actually purposely miss the
Miss that one?
century. Yeah, because Not a big fan of milestones, honestly. Mostly
stones.
stones. I like to be stoned, but not milestones. On that note,
Disclaimer: we don't advise anyone doing drugs.
still waiting on Kevin to send those edibles. Hope to do better next week. A-Town's always cool.
Only when you're full.
Kevin's peace sign, and then Cory, whatever he does. Nothing. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.